Hi, thank you for tuning in. I'm Dr. Garth Fisher, and welcome to The Cutting Edge. I'm a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. You probably know me from Extreme Makeover and being around taking care of a lot of people, and a lot of people you know. But at any rate, I'm here with a radio show, and this is not going to be just about plastic surgery aesthetics. It's going to be where health, beauty, culture, and innovation intersect. We've got a space to explore the world of entertainment, performance, personal transformation, and plastic surgery. We'll answer questions that you can write into my website, www.garthfisher.com. There'll be a little queue for Q&A, and then I'll answer those at the end of each show. But right now, we're going to be sitting down with thought leaders, icons, athletes, artists, experts, all shaping our world and doing it with precision, purpose, and impact. So you'll have a front row seat with this show. But let's get started today. And today's guest is someone who operates at the true cutting edge of human performance. He's a celebrity nutritionist and sports scientist. His name is Rehan Jalali. He's worked with some of the most elite bodies in Hollywood and professional sports, from Oscar winners to world-class athletes, helping them optimize strength, focus, recovery, and aesthetics. Rehan is known for blending hard science with cutting-edge supplementation and customized nutrition protocols. He's the guy behind the scenes shaping the physiques you see on red carpets and magazine covers. Some of his clients he has shaped include Sly Stallone, Ben Affleck for Batman. We all like Batman, so thank you for that. Nicole Scherzinger, Michael Strahan, and many, many others. But beyond the headlines, he's a very deep thinker on the sciences of performance, mindset, and longevity. Rehan also has a weekly radio show on KCBS for many, many years, probably over 15. He's one of my dear friends, and actually the person that propelled me into this show of my own. I want to welcome Rehan to this show. I don't want you to be nervous, though.
Wow, God, thank you so much for that introduction. My God, I'm hiring you as my publicist immediately. Wow, thank you. I'm so honored and privileged to be on this great show, and I just can't wait to listen to it in the future and be on it right now.
Well, thank you very much. Well, one of the reasons you're on here is because actually you got me on this show, and my voice is out this week. Wouldn't you know it, the first radio show, and my voice has gone out, and I know that you'll take over if something happens. So,
well, they said I have a face for radio. That's not good. Okay.
Well, I'm getting that also. Yeah, but you know what? Rehan is so successful, and I've referred a lot of people to him, and they've been so happy. He hasn't quite been able to, give me a 6-pack, although he's got a 12-pack. But he hasn't helped me.
I'm down 10 now, unfortunately.
I need your help. But I've got a lot of great questions for you in this space, and supplementation and nutrition is, you walk into these stores and just sort of this barrage of everything out there, and who can you trust, and what does what, and so I really want to go over that with you. And I know you've got some really important things that you're passionate about, and how long have you been doing this?
Man, I've been doing it for almost 30 years now.
You were Mr. Texas,
Crazy.
Weren't you?
I was Mr. Texas in 1995. My dad introduces me still to this day as Mr. Texas,
right.
Even though it was 30 years ago. I'm like, thanks, Dad, but that was like young days. But yeah, that's how I started in bodybuilding. And everybody has their origin story, their superhero origin story, and mine happens to be in the gym, and that's where I started. I got a passion for it, and I started getting fascinated by the human body. Like as you did, I'm sure, when you started off in your medical career as well. And so when you become fascinated by the human body, it's like an endless experience,
right.
Because it's amazing to see, hey, if you change this, this can happen. It's like an if-then statement, right? Mm-hmm. If I eat this, this will happen. If I train like this, that will happen. And so I was seeing the magic of how you can manipulate the human body to be at the peak performance and be the best ever. And so becoming a champion bodybuilder really helped propel me into nutrition, into supplements, and then eventually getting out here to LA and then Hollywood, of course.
All right. Well, I know the people I've referred you have been extremely happy and thank me actually for sending them your way. I don't know if you're a little bit upset that it may take weeks, months, and years to do this 6-pack program that you have, and I can just etch them with liposuction in an hour, right? So, okay.
Hey, we work together. I'm all, listen, anything that helps beautify you, I'm all for. Let's do it.
I don't promote that. So, but we're going to get into a lot of questions, but you have an online program, don't you? Or what do you have, superhero dietplan.com? What is that?
Yeah, basically it's an online program. What's happening was I was training and working with all these celebrities in Hollywood, and everybody thought that I was inaccessible. And it was like, no. I'm listen, I came from nothing. I built something, and I'm always open to helping people, and I'm always open to work with anybody. So I was like, listen, how can I create a global program that can help everybody? and that would allow access to my sort of customized program with nutrition, training, supplements. And so I created this online program, the superherodietplan.com, which allows anybody in the world to sign up to go through a 12-week transformation program. You could do it monthly, you could do it 3 months at a time, and basically you get all that sort of Hollywood personalized fitness nutrition delivered right to your door, right on your phone. And we have an app and everything, so it's great to progress and track and goal setting and everything else you need to achieve success. What I found a lot of times in fitness is that you need a coach. You need a guide. You need somebody there, right? You need somebody to just guide you through, because most people don't have it. They can't do it alone. They can't. Right. For long-lasting results. And so I created this online program to help people and get them their 6-pack, 2-pack, 4-pack, whatever they're looking for.
I'm on the 1-pack right now. What's the app? What's the app called?
It's called the superherodietplan.com.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So that sounds like a great thing for you to be doing out there. And I think you have real relevance, because you were, it's a big thing to be Mr. Texas, Mr. Anybody, because I know how much scrutiny. It's a lot of work, although it's a little worried. You're in California, not Texas. So
I know. I'm Mr. Wilshire right now.
You got to be Mr. California to work out here, maybe.
Exactly.
Just kidding. Okay, so what about supplements and healthy foods? What is that?
Well, one of the things that I like about, and supplements is kind of how I became known as a global kind of expert. I was ranked as one of the top 2 supplement experts in the country by USA Today and by Men's Fitness. And so supplements is really my deep passion. And I've always, created great supplements that are healthy. And people always say, hey, man, are these magic bullets? Give me the secret weapon. And I'm sure you hear it all the time in your practice. Like, hey, can you transform me in a second? Give me the magic. It's like, hey, there's not really magic. And that's what I love about you, Garth, as well, is you do things in a sensible way. You're not this extreme person who does crazy stuff. You do things in a very sensible way. And that's why you've been at the top of the game for so many years and been the world leader, is because you do things the right way. And I follow that same path. Supplements are exactly what the name implies. They are a supplement to a good nutrition, training, sleep, recovery program. And they're add-ons, right? They just, what nature takes away, supplements put back in. That's really what they allow you to get better results faster, things like that. But again, you can't use them in place of nutrition or in place of training, in place of rest and recovery.
Right. It's all got to fit together. And I know I've said this over and over again. And one of my mantras is, in 30 years, I've had so many journalists and interviews, TV, everybody comes to me in magazines. The first thing they say is, what's trendy? What's new? I said, you guys are asking the wrong question in plastic surgery. You should be asking what works. Because it takes a long time to determine if something really works and it's effective. So I like time-tested things. I'm not against new innovation, but a lot of times it's just really new marketing, not new innovation. And so in the supplement world, I would imagine that too, even with, stem cells, these buzzwords. And in your world, there's probably some buzzwords that people are jumping into that maybe, we'll get into that in a second, but I want to know what's really time tested and what works. And you have a streaming service, Mindatorium. What is that?
Yeah, that's part of my entertainment business. I kind of broadened my horizon, so to speak. In LA, you have to have 14 jobs. Everybody has 8 jobs. So I said, let me add another job. Why not? And so I said, listen, I'm going to start a streaming or partner up with some guys and start the streaming service to provide good content. I was kind of tired of the same old thing, the same old kind of negative type content out there a lot of times. So I wanted to create positive content. So we created a site that merges basically entertainment, personal development, positivity. And so we have movies, short films, music videos, personal development courses, everything just enhance your life. We don't take horror. We don't take, stuff that's very negative. All our content is basically screened out. And we provide really high quality, positive content you can watch with your kids. And so we want to create a site that kind of catered toward the personal development entertainment market. But it's still good stuff. It's still good movies and stuff out there. Yeah, and we're going global with it. We're in 13 countries already. So we've got
a big project. Yeah. Wow, congratulations to you. I'm sure that took a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. Listen, anything worth achieving is going to be work.
Right. So how many people you got on your team doing all this?
We've got about 20 or 30 people now, on the team that are kind of building it, and we've got a great board. And like I said, when we're going global, we're licensing it out, so it's going pretty well.
That is fantastic. That is really exciting for you. I want to be sure I get to look at all that. You take care of so many Hollywood stars and athletes. What's extreme, shocking things that you've seen in their health routines?
That's a great question, Garth. I mean, everybody kind of asks me that a lot of times. It's like, hey, what are the Hollywood guys doing? You know, to be honest with you, sensibility is, again, what I promote. I don't really promote quick fixes or craziness. I've seen everything. I've literally seen everything. I've seen one of my clients, before they met me, they said they used to wrap themselves in one of those boxing outfits, sweat out, 10 pounds or whatever it was, sit in a sauna for 3 hours before a red carpet. They've done all kinds of crazy stuff. They've starved themselves. All those things. So I, again, believe in sensibility. I believe in timing. I believe in doing it the right way for longevity. Now, of course, we peak and we give them some tips. And I love the best stories I have are the directors always call me from the movies and they're like, listen, for example, Bruce Willis was getting ready for the last Die Hard years ago, and the director calls me. He's like, listen, we've got a scene to shoot. And we've got to get Bruce ready for that scene. He's getting paid $20 million, and you have 1 day to shoot that scene. If you don't shoot it that day, we can't get the scene. So he has to be in peak physical condition. I go, no pressure, I got it. Don't worry. It's okay, it's easy. So we peaked for that day, and we, of course, we manipulate at the end, again, with a sensible nutrition training program, what he was doing all along. And then, of course, the last week, we'll peak, we'll help him lose water weight, we'll help him pump up a little bit, we will get him leaner and, fitter. And so, and you saw what he did on this big screen. So things like that really help. But again, I don't really believe in quick fixes. I believe in longevity. I believe in doing things the right way.
That sounds like the right thing. You're listening to Dr. Garth Fisher's The Cutting Edge. And I'm with Rehan Jalali, celebrity trainer, trainer to the stars, everything, nutritionist, and we'll be right back talking to him. You're listening to Dr. Garth Fisher, The Cutting Edge, and I'm here with celebrity trainer Rehan Jalali in Los Angeles, Hollywood, California, and he's known for taking care of all the stars, providing nutrition. And we're here talking to him about health and getting his ideas and advice on things. Let me ask you about, you talk about biochemical individuality. How do you tailor nutrition to different bodies and goals?
Man, another great question. I really live by the fact of personalization. I believe in customized programming. I believe that every body is different. And what works for you may not work for me, may not work with someone else. As much as you do for your clients for individuality, and you look at the person and you see what fits for them, it's the same thing with nutrition, fitness, and supplements is we individualize, we customize, and we don't guess, we test. So I'm a big fan of testing. We do blood work, we do genetic testing, we do epigenetic testing, advancements in that. We do a lot of food allergy testing. We do personal preferences, questionnaires. We really get a blueprint. We do body fat analysis. We really find out what you're all about, inside and out. Mm-hmm. So once you have the blueprint, it makes it easy. That's why people tell me, they're like, man, you get these people in great shape in 12 weeks. How do you do it? I go, I know everything about them. It's simple. It's like when you put that GPS map in, it tells you the fastest way. I got the fastest way to get you a six-pack. So that really helps. So I really believe in individuality. I think it's very important to learn about your body because you want to work with your body, not against your body. So learning about your genetics, because some things basically are what your body is built from. And so, for example, if you're a night person or a morning person, there's a gene for that called the clock gene. Mm-hmm. And that gene basically says like, hey, if you're a morning person, you should do your activities in the morning. You should train in the morning. You should think better in the morning, work in the morning. If you're a night person like me, vampire time, I'm all night, of course. Right. I do my best work at night, is what they say. But that's how I literally do, because my genetics are based on a night gene. So I believe that individualization is one of the fastest ways to fitness success. And I think everybody should learn about their body, get tested, do blood work, and understand how to read blood work correctly as well.
I just can't emphasize that enough. I think that's the key, really. And I've always said that, there's so much confusion out there with supplements and what to take, and nobody really knows what they're doing. They just go to the bathroom, see a different color, urine in the toilet bowl.
Uranium.
You don't know what's coming through there. And there's got to be measurables. You've got to know your whole body's dynamics, what you're weak in. I mean, the genetic thing that people do to see what, they don't, have some weaknesses and the deficiencies in their genetic makeup. So you need to see all that. And so I really applaud you for coming up with this approach, because this is the way it should be. And I think that's why you're respected so much.
Thank you. One thing I'll add to that is also the good thing about testing is you can measure before and after. You can see, hey, your numbers went down, or hey, this is a change in body fat. You can see it right away, and it's very easy to measure. right? I mean, look, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
right there on the paper. It's like, hey, look, your C-reactive protein went down, your inflammation's down, your body fat's down. We can see it right there on the paper.
Yes, Dr. Garth Fisher with the Cutting Edge, talking with celebrity trainer and nutritionist Rehan Jalali. So I'm really, really happy that you have that approach, and that's why you're doing as well as you can. So with that in mind, you train both. Let's see, what's one nutrition or fitness trend in Los Angeles that's totally nonsense, and one you actually love? I mean, I know with trends you have to be very careful because somebody's comes up with some wacky name and everybody jumps to it if they hear about it. But what are you seeing that you have to fight against?
Man, fitness is the biggest fad industry in the world. There's so many fads that come and go. And in the last 30 years, I've seen them all, to vibrating belts, to headbands that do some electrosis, some crazy stuff, and sweat things, and all kinds of detox products and all that. I think that one of the trends that I just don't like is detox. These detox pills or these detox things where you take a pill for 3 days and detox your body and basically excavate everything inside you, including your intestines and everything. And, like, literally everything comes out. I'm like, dude, it's a trick. It's a gimmick. And so I don't like the idea of detox or quick fixes like that. I think celery juice is overrated. I think everybody's drinking the celery juice thinking it's magical. It's not magical. Look, it's got some good nutrients, but it's not going to change your life or anything like that, like what they say in the marketing. And that's you brought up a great point earlier, which I got to reinstate for everybody listening out there. Please do your research. So much of supplements, of nutrition, and even plastic surgery is marketing.
Yes.
It's just marketing.
So true.
They use marketing terms, they use sales terms, and we're going along for the ride. Yeah. And the food industry is $1 trillion industry with a T. And so big food is real, and they have a whole game plan to market you to believe certain things. And so you got to really do your research, do your homework, learn about your body, and see what works for you. One trend I do like in LA that's really good is group fitness. I think that trend has taken off where you have these group classes, Orange Theory. I love the idea of working out with people together, and that really brings camaraderie and allows you to keep going on the fitness plan, because one of the most important things in fitness is consistency. Yeah. Consistent persistence, as I always say, and I think that is the critical thing. So group classes can help with that.
Yeah, it's good to be around people that are doing the same thing too.
Absolutely.
I remember a story. I was in Hawaii and I went to this little, I won't say yoga, but because I like yoga, but it was one of those groups where they had a teacher in this, kind of a gym place with 20 other people, and this lady was giving instructions how to move your body, and she says, pick up your leg and you pull it back here behind your shoulder like this, and this.
I would like to see you do that.
She says, yeah, I'm right. She says, this will get rid of all the toxins in your body, and I'm thinking, are these people nuts? I literally stood up and says, how does that increase portal blood flow or hepatic blood flow from doing that? How does that increase your toxin? And she couldn't answer it. I said, this is just ridiculous. You have all these people listening to you with no proof of anything. It's just, and it's unfortunate. There needs to be leaders and voices like you out there to talk about these types of things. Okay, well, let's see here. How do you help someone build muscle and live longer? Is it possible to have both?
I think that the muscle is the most important thing nowadays. All the research is pointing to the more muscle you have, it's a body protector. It's like armor. So you got to armor up. You got to get the guns right. You know what I mean? I know California has strict gun laws, but we got to get some guns in California. I'm from Texas. You know what I'm supposed to do.
That's why you got big guns.
Exactly. I was raised on guns. I got to keep going. But I think it's very important that you got to build muscle. A muscle is literally a body protectorant. It's is that a word, protectorant?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think that. Let's look up the Scrabble. But I think you have to build muscle because muscle boosts immune function, longevity. It's literally live for life, as Joe Weider used to say, is live for life. And now all the research is showing that is that actually building more muscle can increase longevity. It's actually the most important factor. Actually, it's your largest endocrine organ, and so building muscle is the most important thing. When people ask me, hey, what's important, cardio, whatever, I said number one, resistance training. If you're gonna do one thing, resistance training. Go train with weights, go do resistance training. That will give you a long life, a healthy life, and increase the quality of your life. because the more lean muscle you have, the more fat loss you actually can occur, because fat only is burned inside muscle tissue. And so when people don't have muscle, they really can't burn fat. And that's a big problem with all this Ozempic. And I'm sure you get all these questions about Ozempic and all these new drugs, these GLP-1 drugs.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about that also. But I mean, and recently was when I became more aware that building muscle mass was actually more important than the cardio part of it.
Absolutely.
But that's been an important point that I think people should take home when they are doing their workouts, and maybe instead of 2 hours on the treadmill, spend an hour on the treadmill, an hour start lifting weights. If you got that much time, to be healthier, everybody wants to live longer and be healthier, and these are all real important points. And one of the parts of anti-aging probably won't cover right now, but I've just been so into screening and surveillance. I tell people you got to catch the burglar in the driveway, not in the bedroom. So
Yes.
you want to do the mammograms, you want to do all these things to prevent being caught, catching things too late. So colonoscopies, all these different things. When you get a certain age, I think it's real important to do that.
Timing is critical on that. Timing is so critical.
It's so critical. What's your take on Ozempic and GLP-1 drugs? Are they miracles? Are they ticking time bombs? What do you see in that regard?
Well, I think that there's two sides to that story, two sides of that coin. One side is, if you're very obese and there's no hope for you, I think it can certainly help you drop that initial weight and get you kind of building momentum, as we talked about. We want to have a snowball effect. This is very important because people give up on their programs very quickly because they don't see results. So Ozempic, these kind of drugs can help you kind of jumpstart your program and lose that initial weight. But the other side of the coin is, and a new study just showed this, that 40% of the weight you lose, so-called weight, is muscle.
Muscle.
Exactly right. So you're losing 40% muscle, which means now your metabolism is going to be messed up for the long term. Your thyroid's going to be off. You're going to have a lot of health effects later. So the quick, what's quick is sometimes problematic long term, right? So that's why it's I think one of those things where you have to kind of look at the whole spectrum of it, maybe use it initially to drop that initial weight. But the problem I also see is people who are just like 10 pounds overweight using it, or who need to drop like 5 or 10 pounds. And that's a very, very bad thing to do, I think, because there's been studies now showing liver problems, other issues that occur with it. So I think it's great to start off initially, but you're going to lose that muscle. So it's very important, if you do take those drugs, do weight training. You got to do weight training and eat protein. We didn't talk about protein, but protein is the #1 macronutrient. And even eating high amounts of protein, even without resistance training, can build muscle. And actually, that's what's really cool. So make sure you're eating a lot of protein if you're taking those kind of drugs. So I'm only for them for people who really need it initially to jumpstart. But for the majority of the population, you got to do it our way.
The hard way. Dr. Garth Fisher with The Cutting Edge. I'm speaking with nutritionist and celebrity nutritionist Rehan Jalali, and we'll be back. Hi, it's Dr. Garth Fisher with The Cutting Edge. I'm here with celebrity trainer and nutritionist Rehan Jalali. All the Hollywood stars he takes care of, Mr. Texas. He's really knowledgeable. And just getting back, I wanted to touch back on this Ozempic GLP story. As from a doctor's standpoint, I just want to warn the public about some things. Again, I'm not into trendy things. And this is one of those things where, in medicine, you and I could build a can opener right now and, figure out if it's going to work. But medicine, all these drugs that people take and things that they do, it takes maybe 5 years to kind of figure out what we find out about it, what works and what doesn't work. And, I think it's great for those people that are really overweight, gets them out of the diabetic category. I think that's good. I agree with you, not for somebody 5 or 10 pounds overweight. It just is hard work,
Exactly.
But when we have people going to surgery, we tell them you have to be NPO after midnight, don't have any food in your stomach for 8 hours, because the real risk is you can, if you go to surgery and they put you to sleep, that food can aspirate, go into your lungs, and you can actually die. So it's very important, anybody having surgery out there, do not eat or drink after midnight or 8 hours before your procedure, and you've really got to, adhere to that. People that are on these medications like, Ozempic, they found that the gastric emptying is so slow that they can be NPO after midnight, nothing after midnight to eat or drink. And, food 3 days ago is still in their stomach.
Wow.
And so it's very, very risky. So, I tell people anytime they're going to have surgery in my operating room, I tell them you got to discontinue this medication 3 weeks prior. Because, there's been reported big problems with that. You want everything out of your stomach. You want your motility to start catching up. And so, that's another downside of these medications, which I'm not against, but you got to be very, very careful with them.
It's good to know. Yeah.
So let's see here. What role, Rehan, does inflammation play in aging and weight gain, and how can people fight it, effectively, in your opinion?
That's that's one of the biggest problems of today. Is today's era is we're all inflamed, and I think a lot of it has to do with poor food quality, processing of foods, the environment, the air quality, things like that. Even plastics and just even like fragrances people spray that you breathe in, things like that can really cause inflammation in the body. And when your body's inflamed, you are at much higher risk for heart disease, for cardiovascular problems, and actually you can't really burn fat as well either and build muscle. So it's very important to keep inflammation low. You need some, of course, because your body has to fight diseases and things like that, and all the things that your body needs to be inflamed for recovery. But if it's excessive, it can be very problematic. And that's what I tell people when I do the blood work, and I have a national deal with Quest Diagnostics. So we do our special blood work. It's called the RJ Fit Test.
Right.
And you have specific parameters. And one thing I look at specifically is high sensitivity HSCRP, C-reactive protein. That to me is one of the most important factors for measuring inflammation. I don't even look at cholesterol anymore, to be honest with you, because I just don't think it's a huge factor for most people. I think that HSCRP is very important. And if that number, is on the higher end, you got to start really taking care of yourself. Vitamin C can really help. Fish oil can really help. Turmeric can really help with that. So eating anti-inflammatory type foods, fruits and vegetables and things like that can really help, as well as wild salmon. So I think it's very important to control your inflammation. You need some, you need a little bit, but I think that most people are way too overinflamed. And I think it causes a lot of problems, and a lot of diseases are being linked to high inflammation rates.
Yes, of course. That is true. Cancer is probably
yes.
the main one.
Yeah.
Well, but so let's say you go work out at the gym for 2 hours. I saw you the other day. I think it was 140 pounds each arm. and I looked at you trying to lift that up, and I got a hernia myself just from watching it.
So did I when I watched it back.
But you do something like that, play 2 hours of pickleball. Don't you expect, would your CRP go high then just because you're so inflamed and everything's aching? Or
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we measure it first thing in the morning. You have parameters to measure it. But you're absolutely right. Inflammation should be high at that point because your body's recovering. And so you have myokines, you have all these things being emitted that can help you recover better. And your inflammation goes up at that point. But again, testing it in the morning is much better. And that's another great thing that you just bring up is about just muscle and inflammation. Some of those chemicals that are released when you're weight training, myokines specifically, we call them hope molecules. And they're called hope molecules because they can actually improve brain function. And that's why one of the biggest things for depression is exercise.
Exercise.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you release these myokines and you can allow yourself to have basically better mood. And they've actually tested weight training and resistance training in bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. And they've shown amazing results with just weight training and even cardio. So I think it's very important to exercise and understand that some inflammation is good, but most inflammation is not good, and you got to kind of control it through diet and supplements and exercise, actually.
And this gets back to your other point. You're talking about how supplements are supplements. This is not like go to the store and get some pills and you're good forever. It's always in pretty much every walk of life, everything that we do, it requires dedication, discipline, and hard work. And you've got to work out. You've got to take care of your body. It's a temple, right? You've got to eat the right foods. You've got to do the right thing, get the right sleep, and all that's going to help you more than anything. And so I like that how you're kind of angled in this way and supporting that.
And that's what I actually love about you, Dr. Fisher, is that you are one of the few people, and I've known you for over 20 years probably by now, that's why I love always working with you, always seeing what you're doing, because when I saw your process and the way you take care of patients, and you just don't give them a quick fix, you actually turn down a lot of patients, I know, because it doesn't make sense. And so your whole protocol is amazing. You do a pre-op, post-op, you follow up with recovery, with nutrition, you follow up with supplements, other stuff they can do to help enhance the healing process. So you have a very comprehensive approach, and that's what I really, really like about you. And I think that more doctors out there should follow your protocol of doing the whole comprehensive program.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't do high volume liposuction. I don't believe in that. I mean, when I first started my practice, I was having very overweight people coming in and doing liposuction.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody wanted that at that time.
They wanted to lose weight in 2 hours, and you can suck off 8 liters of fat. And I didn't realize at that time that it's just going to go somewhere else, because the main problem was they have to have their diet and exercise program or regimen straighten out, because these fat cells in our body, I explained to them, I said, these are like suitcases. Or imagine going on a trip in your car, and where are you going to put your luggage? It goes in the trunk. Where else? Well, then you got to put it in the back seat. Where else? And you put it in the front seat. Then where else? Well, you stick a little bit in the glove box. Well, so these people come in with all these trunk spaces of fat where they can store. We take out their trunk. We cement it shut because we just did liposuction of their stomach. Okay? But there's still stuff in the back seat. Guess what? Now more luggage is going in there.
Yeah.
So you take out the back seat because you're doing liposuction on their flanks. That's the next area they gain fat. Take out that. Guess where it's all going? The front seat. And so you have these people, you've done liposuction of the flanks, the thighs, the stomach, and you see them 2 years later underneath. Their neck is engorged. Their arms are real big. Their earlobes are even big because the fat's got to go somewhere.
Wow.
Because they didn't control their diet and exercise regimen. So
Exactly.
that's why I sent so many people to you. And
Thank you.
you know, unfortunately, you did such a good job. I never saw him again. So really, you took some of my business away from me.
Oh, you've got plenty. Don't
Okay,
worry.
you took
Your
my
waiting
business
list for
away.
3 years now. Come on, you're good.
But I'm really thankful for everything that you've done for my patients. And you, again,
Appreciate that.
I've got to get my stomach under control, and you've had many years to do that.
Come on, if you're looking in the studio, I see a 4-pack. Come on, don't front.
Okay, so your personal, are you on a higher level, or what kind of things are you doing? What's your routine in a day? How do you work out? How do you eat? What do you do?
That's a great question. It varies, generally. When you're an old timer like me, we've been doing it. I've been weight training for 37 years straight, which is shocking. You're probably looking at me like, that's all you got for 37?
No, you look so young. You look like you're 25.
Oh, but thank you so much. I think that it's part of consistency. I think it's very important. So for me, I always wake up with meditation or prayer. I always clear my head. I don't look at my phone like everybody does. First thing, what do we always do? Roll out of bed, phone.
Yes.
I don't look at my phone for the first hour of waking up. It's a goal. It's like a die-hard rule I have that I just follow always. So 1 hour goes by. I do prayer. I take my cup of coffee. I go do my cardio, 30-minute walk. And then I just try to eat a high-protein breakfast, and then just kind of go through my day, deal with very crazy people, and then in a good way, the good crazy.
Yeah.
And then then my nighttime routine is always to wind down, to have some meditation again, because sleep is so important, and we know sleep quality is the most. People don't realize that sleep is just as important as nutrition or training. People always ask me okay, is it 80% diet? That's what people say. It's 100% of everything.
Yeah.
It's 100% nutrition, 100% training, 100% sleep. It's 100% recovery. It's 100% everything. So everything's important. Everything matters.
Yes.
Right? And so even walking is very important. That's why I walk or try to walk at least 5 times a week in the morning. Because actually a recent study is really interesting. Just came out recently that showed that if you increase your steps from 2,000 to 7,000, you decrease all mortality risk by 48%. So you actually have longevity.
Really?
Yes, just by increasing your
2,000 to
steps.
7,000. So
Yeah.
3,000 and that's a mile, right? 3,000, I think. I don't know.
Around there. Yeah. So if you can do a little extra mile or two, then you can actually help you prevent a lot of diseases and all kinds of problems that you have, and actually have longevity effects as well.
God, I don't know if I could fit that into my schedule. I'm just so busy.
I know. Listen, but I always tell people, listen, no matter how busy you are, there's always a solution. So there's so many examples of people, and I work with some of the busiest people in the world. I mean, their schedules are built out 2 years in advance or whatever.
Right.
So I'll give you a perfect example. So when I was working with Ben Affleck for Batman, we were on set in Detroit. And we had very limited time because Zack Snyder, we're filming this huge budget movie on a big schedule, and so what he would do sometimes, we would just train on set. He was wearing this armored Batman suit, which was 90 pounds, and he would just start doing push-ups on set. And I've got great footage of that. So we fit it in when we can.
This is Dr. Garth Fisher with the cutting edge of speaking with celebrity trainer and nutritionist Rehan Jalali. Sorry to interrupt you, but you're getting back to...
No, yeah, as I was saying, I mean, so we just fit it in. So, you have Batman, Ben Affleck, doing push-ups on set with a 90-pound armored suit. Hey, we get it in where we can fit it in. And so, again, we have a do-or-die policy, which is basically, look, we're going to get it done, no matter what. And you have to have that sort of, pedal to the metal, that foot on their neck kind of mentality where it's like, hey, we got to get this done, no matter what. It's that important. And so we make it a priority, and we just find a way. So there's always time. So that's the thing.
You're so passionate. I can see that's your mindset, and I can see why you were so successful and still successful, but successful in your career. Bodybuilding, you're probably pushing people out of the way to get that barbell. It's hard sometimes to change the diet too. Do you like, how do people reach you to train with you? Or I'm sure you're filled up, but how do people reach you?
I like the online program. I mean, you could always reach me through social media. I always answer questions and things like that at Six Pack Diet Plan. But online, the program is really easy to follow. You basically have access to me 24/7, or my program at least. And then I don't really take on too many clients at this stage. But if there's someone that's interesting, and I always love challenges. Listen. To me, I've done this for so long. But every day when I see someone that comes to me and says, "Listen, I followed your program and I changed my life." Like, that's a different level. It's not like, hey, I look better. It's like, hey, listen, I can play with my kids now. Hey, I can walk now. Some people couldn't even have trouble walking. It's when you hear those stories, that's what keeps me going. And that's the power of fitness. It's the power of change, of transformation. And so when I see that, man, I just get excited. I keep going. And as you see with your patients, when you see a whole new person, you're talking about confidence. You're talking about a different person, right? Someone who goes from 250 pounds to 150 pounds is going to be a different person. And that's what I like seeing in people. So I'm always ready to help anybody, anywhere, anytime, any place. I was going to make you do some push-ups now, but I think we'll wait. But
I can do the push-ups. My problem has been visceral and mesenteric fat. That's been the issue that I've had. And I think that's really diet related. I don't like to do sit-ups. My wife wants me to do sit-ups, but I just don't enjoy sit-ups. So I'm thinking another way. And kind of a laughing thing a long time ago. I mean, this was a long time ago. I bought this little machine you put on your stomach, and you can sit there eating a chili cheese dog and watch TV. It's contracting your stomach. It's vibrating, and my stomach muscles are contracting. I said, "Look at me! I'm doing 1,000 sit-ups right now while I'm eating a chili cheese dog." And we know how that turned out, right?
Yes, it's not good.
It didn't work. It didn't work at all.
It felt kind of good though. It felt a little stomach massage.
It was, it's hope. It was hope.
Exactly.
Hope.
That's what this fitness industry and even the plastic surgery industry, it sells hope. We sell hope. We sell hopes and dreams.
We sell hope. This is Dr. Garth Fisher, The Cutting Edge. I'm speaking with celebrity trainer and nutritionist Rehan Jalali in Hollywood, and we'll be back. Hi, it's Dr. Garth Fisher with The Cutting Edge. I'm here with celebrity trainer and nutritionist Rehan Jalali. We've just got so much information from him that's useful, and you can see why he's the best in the biz. So let's get back to a couple other things here, Rehan. What is, you think, the most misunderstood part of celebrity nutrition?
Man, that's another great question. And as someone who you also works with many, many A-list celebrities and athletes and everybody else, you also understand this very well. I think the misunderstood thing is that they have a huge advantage where it's like, oh, it's easy for them. Oh, it's simple. They have chefs and they have trainers and they have this and they have that. Oh, it's easy. They have money. But you know what? They're human. That's what's misunderstood. They're humans. They have cravings for sugar. They have chocolate cravings late at night. They text me at 2 a.m. and I talk them down from eating an ice cream, like literally. So it's one of those things where I think that's misunderstood. Is that, listen, they're humans too. They have challenges. And by the way, I think it's much harder for celebrities to get in shape because their schedules are so crazy. There's so much demand on them. There's so much pressure. The mental health part also is they have to look good everywhere. It's not just, people don't realize that when I get, for example, a celebrity ready for a movie, then, like, if Stallone does Rambo or Rocky, he has to do a press tour after that a year later. He has to be in shape for that press tour. He has to be in shape for all the interviews. He has to, it's weird if Ben Affleck's Batman one interview and then he's doing the next interview, he's kind of out of shape. It would, be weird, right? It's it's Fat Man, not Batman. No. It's like, wait a minute, you're
you get a new suit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. With an elastic band. But so that's why it's very important that I think people realize that celebrities have a hard time doing this, and they're really committed and they're dedicated. And I've had some of the best clients ever, and when they commit, they commit. And that's what I love about that. It's what's misunderstood is that celebrities, they have it easy. They're just going with the flow. They have food brought to them. Yeah, that's great, but at the same time, they have to execute. So I always, like, for example, Affleck came on my show, and he was saying, "Oh, you're the secret to my success." And I told Ben, I go, "Ben, you do all the work. I'm just a facilitator, right? I could listen. You take a horse to water, but you know the state. You can't make it drink, right? Yeah. So and they're drinking, water, but
exactly,
they're hydrating up. So what I'm saying is that these celebrities have to execute, and they do it, and they're focused, and they have a lot of incentive to do it as well. But it's not easy. And it's still challenging. Right. So that's, I think, what's misunderstood about them is that they have challenges, and it is hard, and they're some of the hardest working people I've ever met, actually, in my life.
Okay. Dr. Garth Fisher with The Cutting Edge, talking to Rehan Jalali, celebrity nutritionist and trainer, Hollywood's great secret. If you could design the ultimate Rehan Jalali protocol to look and feel your best by age 50 or 50, what would you include in that?
That's another great question. I mean, I think I would definitely include resistance training first. I would get a weight training at least 3 to 4 times a week. And people, this is one of the other misunderstood things in fitness is that people ask me, oh, you must train 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day. No, that's old philosophy. Actually, the new philosophy and the new research shows you only need 20 minutes of weight training 3 to 4 times a week for longevity, for health, for immune protection, for fitness, for fat loss, everything. So
you got to recuperate there.
Yeah, everybody's got 20 minutes. I say everybody's got 20 minutes 3 or 4 times a week. When I actually break down someone's schedule, it's like, okay, you don't have to watch this Netflix thing. You could watch, you could do 20 minutes for your body. And I always tell people, look, you have one body.
Right.
You have one body.
Yeah.
This is it. It's not, you're not leasing it. It's you own it.
Yeah.
You got one.
Yeah.
You can't trade it out every 3 years. You know what I mean? It's there. So you got to take care of it. And when your body is right, everything is right. And so I think I think that's a big part of it. Resistance training. Number 2, hydration is very important. I think many people, and I actually test people in my lab, 90% of people are dehydrated, even if they tell me they're drinking water. So whatever you're doing, drink more water.
Right.
Drink more water. It's water is one of the most powerful anabolic nutrients known to man. People don't understand that. That's so simple, but water is so important. Pure water. I'm not talking about liquid. People are like, wow, I drink 3 sodas a day. That's 10 ounces. No. I'm talking about pure water. And everybody should drink at least 0.6 ounces of pure water per pound of body weight. I'll make it simple. So if you weigh 150 pounds, just drink half your body weight in ounces in water. So 75 ounces of water. So if you're 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water a day, pure water.
Fantastic.
And you will change your life. Your skin will be better. I mean, you have incredible skin. I mean, you're Benjamin Button, so you're an exclusion to the rule. But most humans that are regular,
I have plastic surgery every 15 minutes.
right. Most regular humans can actually increase skin function and skin health and look much younger just by drinking more water. Water has been shown to be very anabolic in the sense of it increases cell volumization, which sends anabolic signaling for muscle growth. And actually, a dehydrated muscle cell is a very unhappy muscle cell.
Right.
Well, and they've shown studies where 3% dehydration in your body causes a 10% loss of strength. And so hydration is very important. Wow. And actually dehydration causes cell death, apoptosis.
Right.
You see cells dying off in dehydrated people. And so it's very important to hydrate. So that's number 2. Number 3, high protein diet. A high protein diet has stood the test of time, has overcome any fad, anything that's ever happened. High protein always works. So make sure you're getting at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight daily. So if you weigh 200 pounds, try to get 200 grams of protein. And that could be shakes, that could be food, but a mixture. Generally, food is better, but if you have to take shakes, go ahead. So protein is very important. Other thing is walking. Simple as that. Walking, try to walk 3 to 4 times a week at least for 30 to 35 minutes. That will help increase longevity, increase health, cardiovascular function, and all that. And the last thing, again, I shouldn't say it's the last thing, it should be the first thing or second thing, is sleep. Make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Recovery is important. Get off those phones at least an hour before bedtime.
Yeah.
Get off the blue light. Take some magnesium and chillax. And that's the 5 things I would recommend.
This is so beneficial for everybody, and it's been such a great pleasure having you on the show. So thank you, Rehan, for being here. I can see why you're the celebrity trainer and nutritionist to the stars. You're so knowledgeable, and I just want to thank you for being on the show because this information was so both informative and beneficial. And where can people find you again?
Well, thank you so much for having me. You guys can check out superherodietplan.com or get me on Instagram at sixpackdietplan. I'm also on X and Facebook and everything else. So check it out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for all you've done for my patients. This is the time that I answer plastic surgery questions. And we've got some that have been written into me. One is from New York City, actually. What is the difference between a deep plane lift and a smash lift? And this has been I think in the news a lot now, and I just want to explain that a little bit. The smash is a fascial layer in the face that's connected to, muscles and fat, and it's really a great supportive layer for using for facelifts, and so that is really the deep plane. When somebody says they're doing a deep plane lift, that's including the smash. You don't go below that because that's where all the nerves are. But there's really 3 types of facelifts. There's a skin lift, where you can dissect underneath the skin and pull the skin, but skin's not a great vehicle for tension. So these are the easiest to do, but I think the worst ones to do because skin ends up having a lot of tension on it. And you see these wind-pulled tunnel, lifts, and then it ends up on your scars and the ears. And so you don't want to do that. The second lift is the smash lift, which is deeper layer, more supportive, more technically challenging, more natural. And SMAS and deep plane facelifts are different in that you can utilize that tissue differently. You can enter at a different level on the face. You can fold it, you can plicate it, you can cut it out, you can do different things with the SMAS or the deep plane. That's up to different people. There's different names, but that's really what you want. And then there's a subperiosteal lift, which is, you're going down on top of the bone, and, not a lot of people do that anymore. I think the SMAS is where you want to be. So that, I hope that clears up anything, and I can do that later if it doesn't. But another question we had is, does breast augmentation affect breastfeeding? This is from a woman in Torrance, wanted to know that. And the question is, can it affect breastfeeding? Yes. Anytime you have surgery on your breast, you can affect breastfeeding, but it's generally not a problem. You can make incisions underneath the breast and the fold. You can make it underneath the nipple. It depends on how long the incision is. Certainly if you make the incision underneath the breast, it's probably less likely that you're going to have problems with breastfeeding. Underneath the nipple, there's so many ducts that there's certainly enough that you can usually still breastfeed, but you have to consider it. I tell people in my office that, in California, if you shut off Wilshire Boulevard, could you still get to my office? You can. So it really hadn't been a problem for us with breastfeeding. Third is, do you need to stage a breast lift and an augmentation? And my answer is absolutely not. And if your doctor is worried about that, then, I think that may not be the right doctor for you, because this is a very easy thing to do one, at the same time. And I feel like it should be done at the same time, breast lift with an augmentation if you need a lift. So that's it for the show today. I'm really happy that I got to spend time together, and our guest today was amazing. We look forward to seeing you next week. This is Dr. Garth Fisher at The Cutting Edge.